Hi family. So this video that I'm doing today is trust the process. Okay? Life is a journey, and a journey is getting from one point to another point. And in this journey, we have to go through processes. And a process is the steps that need to be taken to get from one point to another. So in life, we have to go through trials and tribulations. We have to go through steps, and these steps include healing and learning and growing and experiencing things as we live our lives. Now, a lot of what I'm going to be talking about has to do with energy and reincarnation and things of that nature. So if you don't believe in that stuff, then this video is not for you. Okay? So of course I believe that these bodies that we're in, they're just machines that we use to experience this reality called being a human. And we're born, okay? Now when we're born, we have things set up in our lives that we have to go through based on maybe ancestral karma, maybe past life, things that we carry with us. And throughout life, we have to experience certain things in order to heal. Like I said, maybe karmic ties or past life things, or even things as childhood, these systems that we're raised in, this environment. A lot of people are products of their environment because we're taught certain things that aren't right. We're taught to believe certain things that aren't right. We're taught to fear certain things that aren't right. We're taught to think and behave a certain way. So as you're living your life and you're going through this journey and you come through processes that have to get you from one point to another. So for me personally, I've been going through my own healing process. When I first got to Atlanta, I thought I had a job, and I thought it was the job that I wanted because the pay was good, and I was just ready to start my life over. I was just ready to get things going and start building again. But the universe was like, nah, chick, nope, you got to heal. And I went through processes inside of myself, and I went on like 20 interviews and they weren't working out. And everybody was like, oh, your background's great, and you just won't be a fit for this company. I was overqualified for some things, and it was just a very frustrating experience because nothing was coming through. So I was forced to sit down and really take this time to heal and to recognize things inside of myself that I didn't really pay attention to. Like I wasn't taking care of myself the way I needed to, or I wasn't understanding myself in the way that I needed to see myself. I was just so worried about things that weren't necessary because in life, yeah, we need to be making money. Yeah, we need to have a car and have a house and pay bills and this and that. But in reality, that's not what life is about. And I really had to sit down and was like, okay, Michaela, you got to heal. You got to get back to you. You got to start drawing again. You got to start singing again. You got to start feeling alive and you know what I'm saying? Eating better and connecting with family and friends and remembering who you really are. That's what the universe sat my behind down and made me do. So, I was struggling, and trying, kind of fighting it, because I was like, I gotta make this money, I gotta get a job, you know. Pressure was being put on me. I almost ended up at McDonald's because I'm like, I need something, you know. So was at a point where I was working 2 jobs through a temp agency, getting it. Like, all right, I gotta get it. But while I was really focusing on the wrong things, you know, a lot of lessons came through, and the universe again was forcing me to heal. And I finally stopped and started paying attention to what was being told to me and what was being shown to me about myself, about my reality that I created, that I was living, you know, in a false world, not living for myself, not following my dreams, not paying attention to my passions and things that I care about, you know, just worrying about everybody else. So, my point in trusting the process, so recently I've gotten a job offer for a company that pays pretty good and has awesome benefits, but the most important thing that I realized, the difference between all those other jobs that I was trying to get and trying to just have a job, like, this job recognized my personality. You know, I didn't apply for this job. I didn't look for this company. I was literally sitting on my bed one night and just kind of frustrated because the job that I was working at the time, I'm like, I can't do this forever. I really don't like what I'm doing, you know, and I really don't believe in getting up every day and going into a place where you like really don't like it. It's just work. You know, there's really no purpose to it. Now, yes, I've learned my lessons and found the value that I needed at the time, but it wasn't a long-term thing for me, or it didn't feel like it. So I was frustrated, and I was literally on the bed about to cry, and this text message came through. Ding, like, Michaela, hi, we found your resume, and, you know, we like your background, and we think you would be perfect for our company. So the next day I got an interview, and my personality was like, yeah, you know, we really think that you fit in the culture. And that's when I started really recognizing and learning, like, a lot of the other companies that I was applying for, I was, again, too much for these people because I'm ambitious. I have dreams. I have goals. I'm not going to dedicate the rest of my life into growing into your company. I have my own dreams and my own aspirations. And a lot of companies don't like that. They want you to fit into their little mold, into their little box, and kind of be a slave to their ways, you know? And as long as they paying you decent, a lot of people, they stick to it. They're gonna do it and kind of throw their life away working for these companies. That's not for me. I got dreams, I got goals. But if I do feel comfortable in a company and, you know, I want to grow in this company, of course I'm going to do that. But I need to be appreciated also. I'm not just, you know, there's got to be a give and take in this relationship. I'm not just going to be slaving away and not have no personal growth. And so this new company, you know, they're dedicated to the personal growth of their employees. So that was very important. I'm like, wow, you know, everything that I went through finding these jobs and going through different things had a purpose and it had a reason. And of course, it all helped to my growth, my spiritual journey. Because again, at the end of the day, life isn't about going to work to 9 to 5 every day. It's not about money, you know? It's about the lessons and the growing and the learning and healing. So, what are some of the lessons that you might need to be learning right now? Well, number one, a lot of people need to be focusing on is self-love, self-exploration, and knowing yourself. When we come into this world, we know exactly who we are. We know what we want. We know what we don't want. We have a personality. Like, you can see it even in little babies and toddlers. They're running around. They know who they are. Can't tell me. But as we grow and get older, we start trying to find ourselves in this world. And that's, I believe it's the culture's fault. We really don't have much culture or much identity in families or history, especially in the black culture. But I digress. So as we're searching for ourselves in this world, we lose ourselves. And then you start looking for yourself in other people, and you start looking for validation because you might have ideas or beliefs that don't quite fit into the culture. Or you might feel weird because you think you're an alien. Or you think you've been here before. Or you see things and you hear voices. Or you know things that nobody else quite knows. And people think you're crazy and they look at you crazy, and you start needing validation because you don't have that inner knowledge of spirit. That's really my belief, is what it comes down to. Not knowing and understanding the inner world that we have inside of ourselves. And that, yes, we have an inner compass. Yes, we have intuition. Yes, we know things because we have that guidance as we're trying to live our lives. There are other worlds, other beings that you can't see helping us out. And that's very, very hard to acknowledge and accept and to understand. It's hidden. And also, we're not aware that we are energy beings. So now we're going to our 9 to 5s and we're taking care of our children, our significant others, and our mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, and giving away our energy constantly and never replenishing, never taking that time, that moment to breathe and come back to ourselves. Or even taking our time to do things that we enjoy, that we want to do. And it's broken down like every single moment, all the way down to the food that we're eating. So you've been eating cake and crap all week. Not feeding your soul. And now by the end of the week you're tired and you can't focus. You're angry. Snapping at people, because you haven't been eating right. Or you've been coming home from work and sitting on the couch all day watching TV, being fed all kind of BS information. Or you've been listening to BS songs that talk about sex all day, and you wonder why that's all you think about is sex all day. Like, we really got to pay attention to what we're putting into our energy. The energy that we allow into ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to eat junk food just all the time. That's all people eat nowadays is crap. I'm not saying that it's bad to think, to have these crazy thoughts or to listen to music that talks. I'm not saying that. But if that's all you listen to and that's all you do, then you're going to be vibrating pretty low and you're going to be feeling pretty bad. And so now, this is the cycle that you've been on. Just putting crap into yourself and giving your energy away to everybody. And you're finding that nobody's giving their energy to you the way you need it. Why? Because you're not giving it to yourself. You're starving your soul. Your spirit is like, hey, spend time with me. Because you're not recognizing that you have more than one part to you. yeah, you exist and you're living your life, but the observer needs to sit in the sun sometimes. It needs to breathe fresh air sometimes. It needs to listen to something that's encouraging to remind it that it's going to be okay. To remind it that it's beautiful and that it's not some slave to the system. I say it because, again, I'm speaking of the energy of who you are. Not the body, not even the mind. The consciousness, the being, the existence. Now that's hard for a lot of people to understand because the subconscious mind gets overlooked. That's that knowledge inside of yourself. The you, who you are before your mom told you you're not supposed to do that. Or your daddy tell you you're supposed to be doing this. You know? All types of things. Oh, a man's not supposed to cry. You know? A woman's supposed to carry herself a certain way. A child's supposed to stay in a child's place now. Don't talk too loud. Keep your thoughts to yourself. Don't rustle no feathers. You're gonna make people angry. Don't be loud. That's what I'm talking about. So again, the universe is going to put you into situations. If you're not consciously healing or acknowledging the trauma that you've experienced, the universe is going to put it in your face. So you're wondering, why am I dating the same type of people? Or why am I always in this rut? Why am I always in debt? Why the bill collector always knocking on my door? Because you haven't taken the steps to pay them. You haven't sacrificed. You want to spend all your money on weed? You want to spend all your money on the things that you want? I work hard for this. And then you want to feel sorry because you ain't pay your light bill. Feel sorry for yourself because your car note wasn't paid. Whose fault was that? Yours. But again, we blame things outside of ourselves. Oh, I haven't lost the weight that I want. But I'm going to eat this Wendy's. A salad. I ain't eat no salad. Fucking salad. Sacrifice. Vitamins. Minerals. Your body needs that. It's all programming. I really learned that, I've been eating less meat and more vegetables. When I was a child, I wanted nothing but meat and cheese. Don't give me no burger with a tomato and lettuce and onions and ew. No. But now I crave that because it's all in my mind, I know that it's healthy for me, so it's like I want that because I feel healthier eating green stuff. I feel like I'm healing my heart because I'm eating a salad today. Or listening to music with no words, just feeling the vibes, listening to motivational speeches, listening to somebody talk positive for an hour, or listening to encouraging audiobooks that help expand my mind, watching documentaries that talk about aliens and the crazy stuff. I enjoy that. That's where I get my peace now. But you're not going to be healed overnight. You're not going to become this new person tomorrow. Yeah, we say, yeah, I'm not the same person I was yesterday, but until you've broken them cycles, yes, you are. It takes time to grow and to heal, you know? You gotta put in that time. Did you meditate? Did you exercise? What have you eaten today? Are you still hanging around the same people who talk about you behind your back? Or who used you and abused you? You're hurting yourself. So the universe is going to put it in your face. Hey, you need to wake up. These are the lessons and the processes. Yeah, you going to work. Yeah, you paying your bills. How much time did you spend with your children today? When's the last time, you did anything for yourself outside of the way you're supposed to do? Now, that's just one lesson. That's self-love, that self-exploration. There's layers to that. Because outside of who we were programmed to be from childhood, from our moms and dads and teachers and television cartoons we watched when we were growing up, music we listened to when we were growing up, the friends we hung around when we were growing up, that contributed to who we are as adults. But guess what? Who you are now is a reflection of who you were multiple lives ago. So the relationships that you're going through, the people that you encounter, might have something to do with relationships you've had multiple lives ago. It's true. So you have emotions, you have anger, you don't like this person, you don't know why. Or you do have strong feelings and emotions and ties to this person, you don't know why. Delve into it. I'll give a couple examples. Here we go to the hospital again. I met a person who was my son in a past life. And I've seen him before, and me being the experienced mystic that I am, I knew it was a past life connection. So upon, the first interaction that we had, hello, how you doing? Yeah, hi, how you doing? You look familiar. Yeah, you too. And it was all from there, because he was a spiritual person. He did some past life exploration, and he knew exactly who he was. And I know exactly who I have been, a couple people in my past life experiences and stuff. And, after talking, oh yeah, I was his mother. And he knew it. Spirit told him, that's mama right there, when he first saw me. Now, of course, we can't start off the conversation that way. It wasn't until in a couple conversations he was able to come out and admit that he had those feelings. Now me, I'm like, yeah, I know. I knew it was something, and we connected in the hospital, and I kind of mothered him naturally. He felt like my son, It was a beautiful experience, beautiful relationship, beautiful lesson that we both learned. So you might have people in your life or experiences that were just weird. You gotta delve into it. You gotta delve into yourself. Find out who you were. I'm obsessed with reincarnation videos and children who know who they were in other countries, man. It gets crazy because, a child can be like, yeah, I was so and so and I died on this day and I was this years old, and you know, they go and they research and go to these places where these kids say they were raised, and it's an experience, I'm telling you. It gets crazy. But that doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to just know everything about yourself overnight. So yeah, it's a process. And life is going to take you through processes. But you have to know the signs. You have to be able to pay attention and trust yourself. And you have to believe. Most importantly, you have to believe. You gotta find it inside of yourself, and you can't look for validation in anybody else. I know when I first started this journey, that's what I did. I'm trying to find people I could connect with who knew things, and trying to find information. Am I right? Am I crazy? But it wasn't until I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll be crazy. I end up in the hospital a couple of times, and then I started meeting people. The information started coming in documentaries, and just curiously going through YouTube, like, oh, what's this about? Like, oh my, wow, this is exactly what I thought and felt inside myself. And the weird thing is, Western culture doesn't acknowledge a lot of things that you might feel might be true. There's a lot of things in ancient knowledge and ancient cultures, like aliens and the interconnectedness of other worlds and other realities. There's information out there, but you gotta find it. So again, it's a process. And you have to trust the process. So you're trying to find yourself, trying to find who you are. But the reality is, you know who you are. We know ourselves. You just gotta walk the path and be yourself. And it might be lonely, but it doesn't have to be done alone. And that's where our guides and our ancestors come in to help us. And yes, they can be frustrating. They can be annoying, just like people. They might wake you up 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, and want to talk. I've woken up to myself in mid-conversation, like in a dream-like state, talking to somebody. Like, oh man, what are we talking about? What's going on? Who's you? Spirits. So that's where the boundaries come in. And as you're going through this journey, you're going to wake up to powers and abilities that you might have. Some of these abilities might be, you can kind of read the thoughts of other people, even things that they might not be conscious of. That can get confusing. Or see and feel other people's emotions and their spirit guides and their processes that they're going through. But that's none of your business. It's really not. Until it's something that's a part of your journey. And then you'll be guided on how to deal with that also. It's not easy. It's work. I had to learn about myself. I wanted to be this nice, sweet, innocent person. And that's what everybody thought I was. But I got another side to me. And she has to come out sometimes. And I used to feel guilty. But the return was always amazing. So I do things. Sometimes people don't understand. Sometimes I'm planting a seed. Because I know it's going to grow. Because I've done that. I've been on this journey for some years now. So I've gotten to a point where I'm not afraid anymore of being looked at as crazy. And then once I got to that point, people started accepting me for who I was. Oh yeah, that's just Michaela. She thinks different. She got different ideas and beliefs. And love is accepting that, yeah, she might be a little bit too much for me, but that's who she is. I'm going to try to understand. That's love. So I say that to tell you that you haven't met everybody who's going to love you. You haven't experienced every wonderful thing you're going to experience. Sometimes, that tough love, Spirit is going to take you through the pain and through your fears and through the terrible things. Because you got to be able to get to the other side. There is no light without darkness. That's what people have to start understanding. It's all beautiful. But if you're blinded by the light and you only want good and happiness and you can't deal with the pain, then that's all you're going to see is evil and pain and fear. Because you're blinded by the light. But when you're comfortable and know that there's two sides, maybe 3, 4, 5 to everything. So yeah, you might have to go through something. It's painful. But there are lessons that need to be learned. And then once you learn those lessons, once you get through it, you didn't die. It didn't kill you. You got stronger. Oh, wow. Look at you. Shining again. Smiling again. And now you can help somebody else because you went through the process. And that's the beauty and the pain. Some of my most painful experiences in life are some of the most beautiful. I'm telling you. Now, yeah, it might be traumatic. Our bodies might be programmed to fear certain things. But once you recognize it and you heal it, then you're somebody else. You transform. That's what true transformation is. That's the true purpose behind the process, that you have to trust the process. Can't say that enough, because I'm not perfect. I'm still learning to trust the process. Trust me, I have my dark days. That's why it took me so long to do another video, because I was going through a process. But I recognize my processes now a little bit more, and I know myself. I told a friend of mine, nobody on this earth can't tell me nothing about myself. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know me. If I don't know anything on this world, I know me. And you can tell me your thoughts and opinions about me, and I'm either going to agree or disagree. But nobody or nothing can tell me about me. I go to the doctor if I need to, because I don't have a card to go get antibiotics from these stores. So I go to the doctor and tell him, hey, I got an infection. I need antibiotics. Are you sure? Let's test. Oh, yep. You got it? Yeah, I know. I know me. So, what's the healing journey? Alright, we went through lessons, some of the lessons that might need to be learned. I didn't delve into the family thing. Oh my goodness. That's a whole nother chapter. You might go through experiences because other people in your family had to go through it and didn't heal from it. So now you come through like the goat and learn to heal. I had a blog that I did where I explained mirrors, they're tools that can be used to see spirits in the spiritual world. And one day I was in the mirror and I saw two ancestors. There were two women. They looked Native American or something. And they were very pained, and I realized that they were walking with me. And some of the experiences that I had to go through or did in as far as like my relationships with my ex-husband, and going through the journey of love, they experienced some things in their life that I had to experience and that I had to go through and heal from, as far as like losing myself, So in healing myself and understanding that, I help to heal them also. And I understand that. I appreciate that. And also things such as poverty and, maybe drug use or addictions and a lot of our blood carries the pain of slavery and being held down in society, and the pain of that, and the actions that our ancestors might have taken to deal with that. You might be carrying it. So you don't understand why you deal with a certain addiction and you have such a hard time. Or maybe you have an ancestor tied to that. But the only way you're going to recognize that and be able to heal from that is if you take that inner look at yourself, connect with that inner world. Talk to your ancestors, talk to your guides. They'll tell you. And trust what they tell you. Believe me. Believe me. Spirit is weird because there's a filter, You might be told something and your mind is programmed to think a certain way and to feel a certain way because, our experiences limit our thoughts and emotions. But so you might think that the message or what you were told, you might think that it means one thing, but then you got to go through the process and then you learn, oh shoot, it meant something 10 times more than what I thought it did. Like the parables. Don't take it word for word. It's funny. It's not sometimes, but it is. It can be frustrating. I know. But it's still beautiful. And you gotta appreciate it. And a lot of the pain that we deal with comes from the wants. And that comes from what we feel like we need, what we think we want, and what we think we need. But remember, you don't know yourself. You're still learning. You're still growing. So what you think you want and need on this journey, and what you think you should be experiencing, what you think should be a part of your process, it might be irrelevant. You might be learning something from your past life and you think it had to do with when you was in the 5th grade. And it might be both. So you got to always be open. You don't know everything. You don't know yourself. But the weird thing is, a part of you does. That's that intuition. That's that compass. That's that little voice. Tell you, hey. But it's hard to listen to that voice, I know. It's hard to trust that voice. Because we don't know it. We don't recognize it as a part of ourselves. Yeah, that's you. And you know why you don't recognize it as a part of yourself? Because you see yourself limited to this body. You think you're a limited being. You think that the thoughts that come into your mind are you. You think that every emotion that you experience is you. But you gotta take the time to sift through that and learn what is you and what's not. Oh, don't get me started on the things that might be attached to you. And the things that, ooh, that's another video. Demons and whatnot. And the angels and the ancestors that have personalities that they ain't you. I'll touch on that another time. But again, this whole video, trust the process. What's the process? The steps that you need to take. And you can't get from A to Z over one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time, one thing at a time. That's what life is. It's a journey. It's getting from one point to another. You're born and then you die. But in between that are processes. It's a lot. It gets deep. But trust that compass inside of you. Trust that little voice that you know. You know? We all have protection. We all have guidance. We all have that light inside of us. But we also have darkness. And we also have rainy days. Take it as it comes. But don't get stuck. Keep on moving. Keep on flowing. Keep on growing. Much love, peace, and prosperity. Bye.